Welcome to the QuickBooks University. My name is Matt Holtquist, and QuickBooks Desktop 2019 just came out the other day, and I wanted to go through some of the new features here in the newest desktop version. So hopefully this will help you make a determination should you upgrade to 2019 or can you stick with an older version, whether that's 16, 17, 18, or whatever. Okay. So some of the new features here, you can see the layout of QuickBooks 2019 looks identical to what it looked like in 2018. From just this home screen here, not a lot of updates, not a lot of changes. Okay, so a couple of things that did change. Okay, and some of these things are going to be important to some people and not necessarily others. Okay, the first thing is an invoice status tracker. Okay. So what you can do if we go to customers and we go to create invoices and I say, okay, if I pull up this invoice and you see it says paid 12/15/2023, there's a new link here that says see history. Okay, so you click this and this quickly allows you to see, was it sent by email? Was it viewed? Was it paid? And was it deposited? Okay. So this becomes a little handy tool that quickly allows you to look at this when you have the invoice on your screen. Okay, so this one shows as paid, shows the date it was created, the date it was paid. Okay, so if we just check out another one here, let's see, this one, pretty much the same thing. It must have been a payment for the same thing. Let's say, let's see, Brian Cook. This is a finance charge. This one was just created, but it hasn't been emailed, viewed, paid, or deposited. And I'll take a look at one other one. I think you get the gist of what this does. Okay, so here again, invoice created and payment received. Okay, so that's a handy little feature. If not sure if that's going to necessarily make you want to upgrade to 2019, but it is a handy feature. Okay. The next one is the transfer of credits. Okay, so when you have a customer that pays a bill or pays you an invoice that they owe to you, and if they have multiple jobs, you can now transfer that credit to another job. Okay, so if we go up here to customers and we go down to receive payments. Okay, let's see, say we're going to choose Brian Cook. Okay, you're going to see here that this Brian Cook has unused credits of $2163.31. All right, and if we look here, he's got multiple jobs. All right, so if we say apply credits, it's going to basically, pull up the credits just like normal. If you hit done, it's going to say you're about to transfer credits to another job. You can undo this transfer only by making journal entries. Okay, so once you transfer it, you can't necessarily just go undo it. You're going to have to basically do it through a journal entry, which can be kind of a pain. But this new feature allows you to transfer these credits, let's see, to the other job, second story edition. Okay, because that original payment was for the kitchen. All right, so I'm going to clear this, close this out. Okay, now the next feature is if you go in and, let me go back to the home screen here, if you go in and you write a check. All right, so this is going to come up if for example, you don't use the pay bills function necessarily, or maybe you forget to use the pay bills function and you just go in and let's say you hand wrote a check and you need to enter that into QuickBooks. Okay, so if we say banking, write checks, and let me go back for a minute. This can become important because this new feature, because if you have bills outstanding in the system in QuickBooks and you go and you handwrite a check and you don't record that properly in QuickBooks, this could save you some headaches down the road. Okay, so if we say we're going to pay CU Electric, all right, I know there's an outstanding bill for them. And it says you have unpaid bills with this vendor. Are you writing a check for an unpaid bill? And if you are, go to the pay bills window to connect it to the bill correctly. Okay, so you can go to pay bills, which is going to be the correct option. You want to, if you're paying a bill for this vendor and you're writing this check, you want to connect it with the bill. And if you're not, you can just go to write your check. Okay, so if we go to pay bills, okay, it's going to go to the pay bills section, and instead of handwriting a check, you can just check this off and say, hey, we're paying this bill. And since you hand wrote the check, you're going to uncheck to be printed, go to assign check number, pay it, okay, and then you can put in the check number here. All right. Okay. Now, the next new feature is going to be in inventory, and it's going to be in the inventory reports. Okay. So if you have some inactive items in your inventory list, okay, so I'm here in the item list and you can see doorknobs is inactive, okay? So if I go to, and you'll see here, let me just show you, there's 124 doorknobs in inventory at $30 each, okay? So if I go to this inventory valuation summary, which I already have the report up on the screen, okay, you're going to see now there's a new option here that says show inactive inventory items. Okay, so right now this is not including the inactive items. And if you, so you see it 902. If you click that, it's going to bring in the doorknobs now, 124, and show 1026. Okay. One thing I don't necessarily like is it doesn't show that this one was inactive. So it doesn't really show you which ones show up on the report, but you do have this option. All right. Another feature that some people are going to use, not sure how often, but if you do import IIF files, which are essentially QuickBooks files, okay, you now have the option to look at import errors and fix them before you complete the import. Okay, so if I go to Utilities, Import IIF Files, okay, it's got to close all these tabs. Okay, you'll see here I don't have a file to import, but it does now allow you to view the failed transactions and fix the errors and re-import. Okay, you do also have the option to import without review, but definitely, if you are importing these files, it makes sense to view the failed transactions and get it right on the front end. All right. Now, the last new feature that I want to show you is condensing your file. Okay. So if you go to Utilities and you go down to Condense Data, okay, a new option here is to keep all the transactions but remove the audit trail info to date. Okay. Now, the audit trail, if you're not familiar with that, is definitely a good tool to have if you have multiple users that log into your QuickBooks file, because the audit trail keeps track of what was originally recorded, what was changed, the date, and who changed it. Okay, this is one reason it's important to set up multiple users when you have multiple users and not use just one login. All right, so the audit trail can become a huge file because it's recording all of these transactions. Okay, so you now have the option to keep all your transactions but remove the audit trail. Now, they do save a copy of the audit trail for you so you don't lose it, but it does take all that data out of there to condense the file. When is this important? QuickBooks Pro and Premier, they have limits on how big your company file can get. And once it gets past those sizes, it can corrupt the file. It can start causing errors. You start seeing some really funky stuff in QuickBooks. And that's generally when they're going to come and say, hey, you need to update or upgrade to QuickBooks Enterprise, okay, which is a lot more expensive. And a lot of people don't necessarily need to upgrade to Enterprise. All right, so this option allows you to condense your file so that you can keep working in your version of QuickBooks. All right, so that can be a handy function as well. All right. So let me cancel out of this. So the big question is, should you upgrade to QuickBooks 2019? Well, The choice is yours. Some people like to upgrade every year. Other people, which generally, I mean, I think is a safe bet, is maybe upgrade every 2 to 3 years, because Intuit does stop supporting after about 2 or 3 years the older company files. So especially if you're running payroll through QuickBooks, you're going to have to upgrade every couple years. But is this something you need to just run out and upgrade to 2019? Nah, not necessarily. But if you are just now starting out with QuickBooks Desktop, obviously you could start off with 2019. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave them down there in the comments section. You can always visit us for some free QuickBooks videos for QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online, plus our full course of training at qbuniversity.org. And I will talk to you soon.